How does this guy who can't even ask his crush out end up losing everything he cares about piece by piece without ever seeing it coming? All because of a toy from a new age shop. Today, we're covering the entire story of Obsession, easily one of the best horror movies to come out this year. We're going to walk through the one wish that started it all, how it slowly took over everything in his life, and how it all builds to an ending nobody sees coming. Our guy is Bear Bailey, a music store employee who has spent years quietly in love with his co-worker and childhood friend, Nikki Freeman. Bear is the textbook nice guy who can't pull the trigger. Every time he gets a real opening to tell Nikki how he feels, he chokes, deflects, or gets interrupted at the worst possible second. He's not a bad guy. He's just a guy who has decided that not knowing the answer is safer than hearing no. One night after a group hangout, Bear drives Nikki home. It's his last chance of the night, maybe his last chance period, and he still can't do it. Earlier that day, half joking, he'd picked up a cheap novelty item from a new age shop meant as a gag gift for Nikki, something called the Wish Willow. The pitch is simple and stupid. Break the stick, make a wish, get exactly what you asked for. One wish only, no refunds. Sitting alone after dropping Nikki off, humiliated by his own cowardice one more time, Bear snaps the willow and makes the wish anyway, that Nikki will love him more than anything else in the world. At first, it plays out like a rom-com fantasy. Nikki starts showing up differently, warmer, closer, suddenly all in on Bear in a way she never was before. She even opens up to him about her father dying of cancer, and the two of them fall into bed together and start dating for real. Bear finally has the thing he wanted for years, except almost immediately, the crack show. Nikki's affection doesn't feel like romance, it feels like a fixation. She watches him sleep. She melts down over tiny slights. And in one of the film's most disturbing beats, Bear discovers she's built a shrine out of the remains of his dead cat, a gift, in her mind, an act of devotion. He also learns her sob story about her dying father was a lie. Nikki was never falling for him naturally. Something else moved in when the wish went off, and it's wearing her like a costume, a cheat code turned into a curse. Classic horror rule. The price is always bigger than the ask. Here's the gut punch twist that reframes the whole movie. The real Nikki hasn't disappeared. She's trapped somewhere underneath, conscious enough to occasionally resurface. In one late night scene, she wakes Bear up just long enough to whisper the truth, that the obsessive version of her is asleep right now, and she begs him to kill her before it wakes back up. This is the moment the film stops being a stalker thriller and becomes something crueler. Nikki isn't the villain. She's the first victim. Bear made the wish, but she's the one being worn like a puppet, screaming behind her own eyes with no way out. Bear is horrified, but he doesn't kill her. He can't. Instead, he tries calling the company that sold him the willow, hoping there's a way to undo it. There isn't. The rep tells him flatly, the wish can't be reversed. It can only end one of three ways. Bear dies, Nikki dies, or someone breaks a second willow to overwrite the first wish entirely. With reversal off the table, Bear tries the third option, get someone else to make a corrective wish. He tracks down the last two willows left in the shop and hands one to his friend Ian, begging him to wish the curse away. Ian does not do that. Ian wishes for $1 billion. It works. Cash actually rains from the ceiling, which is the film's blackly funny way of confirming, once and for all, that this thing is completely real and completely merciless. It's also the last good moment anyone in this movie gets. Nikki, now fully consumed by her obsession and treating every other person in Bear's life as a threat to be removed, murders their mutual friend Sarah after catching a flicker of jealousy over her and Bear. Then, when Ian shows up at Bear's place afterward, Nikki shoots him dead too. Two friends gone, both of them collateral damage in a wish Bear made because he was too scared to just ask a girl out. Cornered, with Nikki spiraling and everyone around him dead, Bear finally accepts there's no clean ending here. He begs Nikki, the possessed version, to use her own wish to undo his. If she really loves him the way the curse says she does, she'll do this one thing for him. She refuses. So Bear chooses the only option left that doesn't involve killing her, himself. He tries to work up the nerve to end it quickly and can't. So instead, he swallows a handful of oxycodone, hoping his death is what finally breaks the spell and frees the real Nikki. And then the film delivers its final, cruelest twist. As Bear is dying, Nikki, still under the wish's control, grabs the spare Wish Willow and snaps it one more time. Her wish, that Bear will love her exactly as much as she loves him. For one moment, it actually works. The curse briefly rewires Bear right back, and the two of them share a genuine, mutual, completely doomed embrace right as he dies in her arms. Two wishes. Two people who wanted to be loved. Neither of them got to want it on their own terms. Bear's death is what finally breaks the original curse. The real Nikki snaps back into her own body for good, and wakes up into the wreckage of everything the entity wearing her face did while she was locked inside her own head. Sarah and Ian are dead. Bear is gone, and Nikki is left alive, traumatized, and fully aware of every horrifying thing that happened in a body she didn't have control control over. There's no victory lap here, no happy reset. The film's closing note isn't love conquers all. It's the opposite, that trying to manufacture someone's feelings for you, even out of loneliness, even out of love, is its own kind of violence. And somebody always ends up paying for it who never agreed to play. Strip away the supernatural toy, and obsession is a pretty simple horror premise. What happens if you could force someone to love you, no consent required? Bear didn't want to hurt Nikki. He just wanted her to want him back. And that one wish is what ended up costing both of them everything.